and he described the artesian fountain in the Garden of Eden and how it divides and flows into 4 rivers that go to the 4 corners of the earth. 2 goes to the North and South Pole, and the other goes the other 2 directions.
Are there other openings to get into the hollow earth? Are there special caves, perhaps, throughout the planet, or just at the North and South Pole?
There are tunnels throughout the earth have been discovered, probably built by the antediluvian people that were quite advanced in the sciences and technology. There are caverns that go all the way through the earth. For example, the book Edidorpa, Hollow Earth researcher Bruce Walton from Provo, Utah, figured out that the I Am the Man guy in the book Edidorpa was actually a man named William Morgan, who had joined the Freemasonry Society back in 1827, around there.
Freemasons come up again, huh?
And that they threw him in jail on trumped-up charges of debt, and then stole him out of the jail, threw a body into a lake, and claimed it was him. But they had actually just kidnapped him and took him on a journey to the hollow earth through a communicating cavern. He described this entrance to this cavern in Kentucky, which I believe is probably the Mammoth Cave, which I understand they haven't found the end of it. And his book is, he came back several years later with this manuscript, and it was published. It's called Edidorp. It's quite interesting. He describes the earth as being hollow with a shell of 800 miles thick, and the conditions within the crust of the earth on his journey to the inner earth.
There are a lot of people, Rodney, who believe this theory, aren't there?
There are in the thousands, I would say, all over the earth, yeah, but probably no more than about 4% of the people.
I want to talk a little bit about an expedition that is heading that way to look for the hole in the planet. We'll talk about that next hour. When I was a kid, I remember reading about what was called Shambhala, an area that people believed was a tunnel into the center of the planet. I remember reading Jules Verne's book, Journey to the Center of the Earth. Were those all talking about what you're talking about tonight, and that is a hollow earth?
Yeah, Jules Verne's book is actually based on the exact same ideas that was reported by Olaf Janssen. His fictional book, Journey to the Center of the Earth, was about some explorers that descended into an extinct volcano in Iceland, and they went down into the inner world, and they came out into an inner surface where there was an ocean, a continent, and an inner sun giving off light, and plentiful plant and animal life, and they even caught sight of some giant people tending a herd of mammoths. So these are all exactly the same things that Olaf Janssen reported he actually saw. So he must have had some pretty good information.
You were talking at the top of the break, right before it, about planes that would fly over the poles. Why can't they see the hole?
Actually, they do. I have a friend that was flying in an he flies a lot, and one time he was sitting by this airliner pilot that was just sitting right by him as a passenger.
All right.
And he asked him if he had ever seen the polar opening at the North Pole, and he this airline pilot told him he had. So they just keep it between themselves, not to raise a suspicion, I guess, but people have seen the polar openings.
We get a lot of reports of people disappearing, Rodney. Is it possible that they're being taken and yanked into the hollow earth?
I don't think so. There's indications that our government has been knocking flying saucers out of the sky and back engineering these flying saucers, and have been building them underground, and they have been abducting people to try to do engineering on them, trying, I suppose, to try to duplicate these androids that they see flying out in these flying saucers.
Well, when we come back, I want to talk about the expedition planned in the summer of, I think it's 2006, as a matter of fact, to look for the hollow Earth. And also, let's talk a little bit more about the inhabitants of the hollow Earth, Rodney, when we come right back. I'm George Norrie, back in a moment as Coast to Coast continues. A little bit later on, I'll open up the phone lines. I'll give you an opportunity to chat with Rodney Clough about the hollow Earth theory. I kind of like that opening. Maybe I am in the hollow Earth, and I've been keeping it as a surprise. But I'll be back in a moment. Rodney Clough, our guest. We're talking about the hollow Earth. As a matter of fact, he's got a book called The World Top Secret, Our Earth is Hollow. It is an ebook available on his website. Couple websites, by the way. They're linked up with coasttocoastam.com. OurHollowEarth.com, okay? And then the other is called VoyageHollowEarth.com. We'll explain that one in a moment because there's going to be an expedition as well. But I've got a few more questions. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Coast. I'm George Norrie with our guest tonight, Rodney Clough. Rodney, some people have been sending me messages, and they think, what happens if you fall in the hole? It is the incline into the curvature is so slight. It's not like you fall in. You just walk in, or you fly in, or you come in. But, I mean, you don't fall into a hole, right?
Well, this is a misconception that scientists have propagated, that the center of gravity of the Earth is in the center of the Earth. Well, there is a small center of gravity in the inner sun, but since most of the Earth's matter is in the Earth's shell, then that is where the acceleration of gravity accelerates towards, is in the shell of the planet. And as you're going around the polar lip, you're accelerated to where the mass of the planet is, and that's below your feet. So you're not going to fall through the hole because the center of gravity is not, for us on the surface, is not the center of the planet. This is the matter that's under our feet.
What is keeping the central sun, the sun in the hollow Earth, from hitting the sides or something? What's keeping it in its floating orbit? Or I guess its floating position?
It's suspended in the center of the Earth by gravity and also by a ion emission that repels. It repels from all directions, so it keeps it centrally located in the center of the planet.
All right, so there's no danger of the thing smashing into the inside of the planet, right?
No. Absolutely not.
All right, we're gonna go to our website and look at the hollow Earth graphic that you gave us. And do you have it available to you right now? And you could just take us through this,
sure,
and kind of show us the openings are are about 84.4 degrees. They're not 90 degrees. They're not straight up, but it's tilted just a little bit, right? Is there a reason for that?
Yes, the polar openings were probably formed with the Earth in rotation, with centrifugal force throwing matter out from the center, and at the poles creating these polar openings centered over the axis of the Earth in the original creation period. But evidently the Earth has been bypassed by planet-sized comets in past geological history and has tipped the Earth on its axis. Indication of this is the Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. When they discovered the entrance into the pyramid, they realized it was pointing to the North Star. but